And can I just say, this bread smells amazing. Like, I want to eat the whole thing, but I'm not going to, but I want to. So it has been exactly 2 hours. So let's check it out and see if this is a win or a fail. I'm scared. I'm scared. All right, so I've heard of people making bread in a crock pot before, but I've never really thought too much about it until now. I am always on the hunt for a healthy bread for both myself and the kids that we'll actually eat. But have you seen the price tag on those healthy loaves at the store? It's crazy. They really make you pay for it. Okay, and now usually by the time I share a recipe with you guys, I have tested and tried it like a dozen times over. But today's a little bit different. I'm going to be trying my favorite oil-free bread recipe for the very first time in the crock pot. So you and I are gonna find out together if this is a total game changer or if it's gonna end up being one of those kitchen experiments that end up as a big no. Either way, it should be fun. So let's find out if this crock pot bread actually works. All right, so I will have this recipe posted in my description box below, but you'll have to keep watching so that you can decide for yourself if this is going to be a recipe that you want or something that you're going to pass. Okay, so to start, I just added 1 cup of warm water to a large mixing bowl. Now keep in mind you want the water to be warm, not hot. Then I went ahead and added 1 packet of instant yeast, or it works out to be about 2 1/4 teaspoons. Then I went ahead and added 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. However, that could also be swapped out for 2 tablespoons of regular sugar, brown sugar, or even date paste. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and let this yeast mixture sit for about 5 to 10 minutes or until it's foamy on top like you're seeing. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it a little mix before I throw in the salt. So I'm adding in 1 teaspoon of salt, making sure it's nice and dissolved before I go ahead and add in my all-purpose flour. Now this recipe calls for 3 cups of flour, but you're going to see how I add in just 2.5 cups to start. And then we're going to go ahead and set aside that extra 1/2 cup that we're going to slowly add in once the dough starts to form. And because I'm making an oil-free bread recipe here, I'm not using any overt fats at all. So I'm not going to be adding any oil or any butter to this bread recipe. So what I'm going to add instead is some unsweetened applesauce. Now, I just used a raspberry applesauce here that I had on hand, but you can use any type of unsweetened applesauce and it will give the same effect. We just want to add a little bit of moisture without adding any fat. So now I'm going to go ahead and start adding in that 1/2 cup of flour that we set aside before. Now you want to work this one in nice and slowly. The point is to get all that flour mixed in evenly. So I ended up kneading this ball of dough for about, I don't know, 6 to 8 minutes or so, I want to say. It started to get a bit tough and I knew I needed a little bit more elbow grease to it. So I ended up turning off the camera and kneading it on my countertop. And this is what it ended up turning out like. Absolutely perfect. Check out the texture here. It should not be sticky at all, but it should be nice and flexible and just being able to manipulate it in any way you want. All right, so once I ended up having it how I wanted it, then I ended up moving it from the bowl into the Instant Pot. Now, we're not going to turn on the Instant Pot at this point. We're just going to go ahead and line it with some parchment paper. We're going to set that ball of dough in there, cover it up, and we're going to leave it for about 45 minutes or so to rise. And then this is what it looks like. It ends up almost doubling in size. I don't know if that's picking up on the camera here, but it was huge by the time the 45 minutes had passed. I was feeling pretty good about the recipe at this point. I mean, so far so good. The texture of the dough was amazing. So let's keep going. So from here, we're going to go ahead and turn on our crock pot. So we're just going to set the crock pot to high, and then we're going to set the timer to 2 hours. Now, this bread usually cooks anywhere between 2 to 2.5 hours, but I wanted to set it at the 2-hour mark and check on it then. I covered it up and I did not open it until the 2 hours were up. All right, so the bread is in the crock pot. We have 2 hours before it's done, although I'm going to edit this in a way that you will only feel like it's 2 seconds and it's done. But at any rate, in real time, I have a little bit of time to spare. So I wanted to jump on here just to say, first off, I can't believe we are at the beginning of October. I mean, what happened? It feels like 2 seconds ago we were just in July, but anyways, I'm not mad at it because October happens to be my favorite month. It always feels like the season of fresh starts to me because the weather cools down, my body starts craving those really cozy, high fiber recipes, just like the ones that helped me lose over 60 pounds. Okay, so when I was losing the 60 pounds, I realized that the magic ingredient was not some highly processed protein shake or cutting out all of my favorite foods. It was fiber. Simple filling meals made from beans, lentils, potatoes, and veggies gave me that consistency that I had been missing. They helped me curb those crazy cravings that I could never seem to get a hold of, kept me full for hours, and made weight loss feel possible and honestly without being too hard. That's why I have poured my favorite high fiber, oil-free, low-fat, family-friendly approved meals into all of my ebooks. From creamy, delicious, high-fiber, high-protein shakes that I drank all the time, to hearty soups, potatoes, and some more potatoes. These are the exact meals that I make for both myself and my kids, and they have been life-changing to help me stay on track. The trick for me was finding the foods that gave me the most bang for my buck, calorically speaking. So with that being said, it's the beginning of October, and I don't know about you, but there's something about a fresh start at the beginning of every month. And it's typically when I like to reset my meal plan, so I thought I would help you reset yours as well. For the next 48 hours only, I'm running an incredible sale on my 5-book bundle. Normally this bundle runs for $50, and there are tons of people who have purchased it at that price. But for the next 2 days, you can get this exact bundle for only $12. That is a crazy sale, but I like to run these flash sales to keep things nice and affordable for you guys. But because the price is that low, I can't keep it that way forever. So it will only be running for the next 48 hours. Now, I've had a lot of you guys that are really sad when you miss these flash sales. I get emails, I get comments. So please try to take advantage of this sale while it is running for the next 48 hours only. So the link to that sale can be found in my description box below or my comments section. And I mean, even if you're just interested in my books, you want to find out what types of recipes are in there, I have almost all the recipes listed with each of the book descriptions, so feel free to just check it out if you like. So again, all 5 books that usually retail for $50 is on sale for the next 48 hours for only $12. And if you stick to the end of this video with me, there is going to be a huge bonus surprise. But for now, I'm gonna go relax while this bread cooks, and I'll pop back on here once that bread is done. All right, guys, so it has been exactly 2 hours. I'm about to lift the lid off this crock pot because I have not checked on it once. I was too afraid to let air in and possibly deflate this bread. So I thought, you know what, leave well enough alone. So I have no idea if this thing is even baked or not. And I'm a little bit scared, to be honest, because yeah, that just wouldn't make for a great video. So fingers crossed that this bread turned out. You guys are gonna find out with me if this is an epic fail or if this is a game changer. So let's find out. I'm scared, I'm scared. No way. I think she looks pretty good. Yes, I think it worked out. Okay, I'm gonna go get a knife and pierce it in the middle, just make sure it comes up clean, but I think it might be good. And can I just say, this bread smells amazing. Amazing. Like, I wanna eat the whole thing, but I'm not going to, but I want to. Okay, so let's check this out and make sure this knife comes up clean. Oh, it smells so good. Ah, perfect. All right. Now, the next step I'm gonna do is throw this under the broiler for just a couple of minutes just to brown this top part. So I'm gonna go set my oven and get that ready to pop this bread in, and I'll show you guys the result once it's done. And is it okay that I'm geeking out a little bit that this worked? I'm so excited. If it tastes as good as it smells, I will be making this loaf of bread probably once a week for my kids. Like, I'm not even kidding. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this beauty. This is how it turned out after I left it under my broiler in my oven for honestly maybe 3 minutes. So I'm going ahead and cutting this open so you guys can just see the texture. However, if I wasn't in a rush to do this, I would have probably let it sit for at least another 15 or 20 minutes. This was after cooling off for about 15 minutes, so it was still pretty warm, but even still, look at the texture on this bread. Oh my gosh, I was so genuinely surprised with how this turned out. I think the part that I was most worried about was whether or not it would cook all the way through. I've made homemade bread many times before, and sometimes you get that gumminess in the middle, like it just doesn't cook nicely all the way through, but this one did not disappoint. I couldn't believe it. Okay, you guys, so this turned out, oh my gosh, it is cooked to perfection. I can't even get over it. It is literally perfect, and as you can see, when you put it under the broiler in your oven just for 2 to 3 minutes max, that is how golden brown it turns on top. There is no added fat, there's no oil, maple syrup for sugar. I mean, come on. This is just a little bit of strawberry jam, and I'm gonna give this a taste test. And my guess is that this is gonna taste as good as it smells. Like, my whole home is just smelling of fall right now. Like, I absolutely love it. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Gosh, guys, this is so incredible. I already took a bite, but my son was making a lot of noise in the background, so I had to cut that clip and start again. But here we are. Let me try it again. Oh my gosh. It's moist, chewy, got a beautiful texture on the outside of it. This is amazing. I'm genuinely beyond impressed. I'm impressed that the Crockpot cooked it to perfection. Like, there's no gumminess in the middle of it. It's not overly dry or anything like sometimes you might get in the oven. Like, it's literally cooked to perfection. 2 hours exactly in the Crockpot. Set it and forget it. These recipes are amazing. Oh my gosh, why spend a ton of money at the grocery store when you can just make it yourself? And this is like the very, very basic of the basic recipe. You could add so many things to this. You could make it a delicious cinnamon raisin bread. You could make it like a garlic type of bread, rosemary. Like, you could have so much fun with this recipe, adding in different spices and flavoring it up. Honestly, I'm seriously considering it. Like, I think I probably will make one loaf at least once a week. Like, it's that good. So anyways, it was an epic win. This is incredible. I'm so happy I did it. Happy that you guys came along with me for the ride. And don't forget, if you want this exact recipe, it will be posted in my description box below. But as promised, if you made it to the end of this video, the first 5 people that go click the link to that October Fresh Start sale will be getting that whole bundle for free. Yes, that's right. All 5 of my weight loss recipe ebooks for free. I really hope it lands in the hands of someone who really needs it. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like simple, healthy, whole food recipes, just like the one I'm showing you in today's video. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.